Hello. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Jackie Chan's film Gorgeous with him, Shu Qi, and Tony Leung. It's from 1999, so this would have been the year after Rush Hour. So this is it's an interesting time in Jackie's career because obviously he's just made it big in Hollywood, after trying with multiple attempts Rumble in the Bronx, First Strike, Who Am I, and then obviously Rush Hour finally hit. So he becomes this name in Hollywood at long last after multiple attempts. And then obviously he goes back to Hong Kong and makes Gorgeous. So wonderful film. Recently been released on Blu-ray by 88 Films. 88 Films do absolutely phenomenal work, as I've mentioned in previous videos, and no exception here. This is a wonderful job. So we have, of course, with this Blu-ray, we get original artwork on one side of the sleeve, and this is obviously the original Hong Kong poster. So the original artwork, obviously, included on the lovely slipcase. So a beautiful Blu-ray release, and this, of course, contains two versions of the film. We have the 2 hour original Hong Kong version, and then we have the I think it's basically 100 minutes, 1 hour 39, 1 hour 39, 1 hour 40, and that's the international cut. I've watched both versions, and I can honestly say that the original Hong Kong cut, the 2 hour version, is most definitely the version to watch. So this really is, it's a different kind of film, this one. It really is. It's probably one of Jackie Chan's most romantic films. I mean, when I was talking about Dragons Forever, that certainly has some romantic aspects to it, but this one has a lot more. And obviously, Shu Qi is in this, and especially in the Hong Kong version, honestly, Shu Qi is more front and centre in this film than Jackie is, because we open her character, Shu Qi's character. She lives in Taiwan, and it's a small village she lives in, like a fishing village, and basically she doesn't know what she wants out of life, and then, as luck would have it, one day this bottle washes up on shore, and there's a message in a bottle. It's a message from someone in Hong Kong. So she decides, let's go on an adventure. And then it's when she goes to Hong Kong that, obviously, through a series of events, that she basically encounters Jackie's character, and then things go from there. Of course, the message in the bottle that she receives is from Tony Leung's character. So basically, we go to Hong Kong and we track Tony Leung's character down, and we're expecting, okay, is he going to be the man of her dreams that she's hoping to meet? And wouldn't you know it, Tony Leung's amazing in this movie, by the way. He plays this flamboyant, wonderful gay character. And wouldn't you know it as well, he's one of the most high profile makeup artists in Hong Kong. Because why wouldn't he be? So basically they meet up, and obviously Tony Leung explains, yes, basically I sent this message in a bottle. Basically, I'd recently broke up with my boyfriend, and in a moment of desperation, I threw this bottle out into the ocean, and I hoped that fate would work its magic. Obviously, So but the dynamic between Tony Leung and Shu Qi, and this is amazing. Again, they're both incredible in this. Tony Leung is incredible, and Shu Qi is wonderful in this as well. She's really likable, and she does a great job. And again, large portions of this movie, she's front and center. This isn't real. It's as much her film as it is Jackie Chan's film. If you watch the 2 hour cut, the Hong Kong cut, probably more so, it's more her film. And because it's in the Hong Kong cut, you're about 20 minutes in until Jackie Chan finally comes into it. It's all been focused on Shu Qi, and obviously, a life at home with her mum and dad, and then finally biting the bullet and going to Hong Kong. Because to lay the groundwork, you see, her mum originally is from Hong Kong, So obviously Shu Chi's character's always been curious to go there and see what it's like. So obviously this getting this message in the bottle was the final incentive, to go bite the bullet and dive in. So basically, yeah, she strikes up this friendship with Tony Leung, and he agrees to take her on one of his photo shoots. And because they're doing a photo shoot at sea, they've got a private yacht. There's all sorts of models there, so come and have fun. And basically, while they're out at sea, there's another yacht nearby, and basically Jackie's on there. Basically, wouldn't you know it, he's having an affair with another man's wife, and it just so happens, well, another man's wife, another man's girlfriend. It's not immediately clear, but yeah, basically, he's got this rivalry going on because he's a businessman, and for lack of a better term, businessman. He's involved with the stock market, and basically, this guy that he's playing away with his woman, but he's also interested in buying up all the stock in his company. So the rivals, the business rivals, but then obviously Jackie Chan's taking it one step further and obviously getting involved in the relationship side, which again, it's playing with fire, but you get this impression. Obviously, Jackie Chan's character in this is one of those, he plays fast and loose. He's got a fast lifestyle, well, he can afford to have. But one of the things in this movie, it's gradually catching up with him more and more. So obviously, we realise that this guy that he's business rivals with, they go back a long way. They were even at school together, and they've always had this like rivalry, back and forth game of one-upmanship, whatever you want to call it. And that continues on throughout this film, and things escalate and escalate. All the while, you've got this brewing romance on the other side with Jackie and Shu Chi's character. So obviously, the business rival obviously catches him and Jackie and his girlfriend on his yacht, and basically he has his team of heavies, henchmen, to basically, dissuade Jackie from any future goings on. So and then we get this real wonderful action sequence on this yacht. Again, Jackie Chan doing fight scenes on yachts. It seems to be a winning combination between this movie and what we got in Dragons Forever. Yeah, he does good fight scenes at sea. But and obviously Project A as well. But yeah, it's great. We have this wonderful sequence, and again, we always talk about sometimes Jackie and his slapstick, how it goes overboard, gets too much to the point where it does kind of turn you off. One of the things I can say about Gorgeous, because it's a wonderful blend of comedy, romance, and obviously you have some wonderful action in there. The comedy in this is really, really good. It's really, really good. Like, obviously, we talk about this group of heavies that's going to basically work over Jackie. These guys, they're just in a totally, totally different movie. Again, it's Three Stooges-esque, or I suppose in this case, I think there's four of them, so four Stooges. But they have wonderful, wonderful interplays with one another, and they're just very bumbling. But the comedy that ensues and the slapstick is really, really well done in this, and it's this they got the balance right for the most part, and it's like with stuff like Dragons Forever and Operation Condor, and I suppose Wheels on Meals as well, you know, where they've got the balance right, where it really works. But yeah, you have this great set piece on the yacht, because Jackie had come to the yacht on his own speedboat, and obviously they'd untied that and cast that adrift, so Jackie couldn't escape. So basically, Shu Chi, she's kind of picks up on what's happened. She's looking through the binoculars while they're having a break during this photo shoot, and then she sees obviously the speedboat drifting ever so closer to their yacht. So she basically dives in, and basically takes command of the speedboat and zooms over there to rescue Jackie. So that's how they meet, and then things go from there. And you have this. It's really wonderful, the chemistry that Jackie and Shu Chi have as well. It's again, it's one of those, because obviously you know, Jackie's never been that sort of guy who could do, you know, like the sleazy stuff. It never sits well when you, like, have Jackie going in for anything raunchy. Um, all this is played. It's played the romance in this. It's very pure, for lack of a better. It's very cute. It's very cute. It is, and it's very believable as well. Like you look at the two of them together, Shuchi and Jackie Chan. You think, you know what, these go really nicely together. You want to see them together, and yeah, just to watch the romance grow between them as the film goes on. It's a joy to watch. And again, you have obviously, because you know she's from this small town, going to the big city, and then obviously you have Jackie Chan as this like high roller, you know, larger than life guy. You know, money's no object. He can go wherever he wants with whoever he wants, do whatever he wants, do whoever he wants, and money's no object to him. And then obviously he basically opens her eyes to this total, like it's a whole new world. Um, and obviously she's just amazed by it all, and she falls in love with it instantly, the lifestyle. Probably, and again, you know, it's lovely to watch. And then obviously he invites this lovely restaurant. You know, he books the whole place out, so it's just the two of them, and they have this really romantic meal. And then this is where again, it doesn't really have a great deal of plot to it, this movie, but this is where some element of a plot's finally introduced, in the sense that his business rival shows up at the restaurant, and basically, you know, enough's enough, I'm tired of you disrespecting me, embarrassing me, what have you. So obviously, I know you pride yourself on your fighting ability, because he's got, you know, he enjoys boxing and mixed martial arts, as you would expect, being Jackie Chan. So basically, I've hired a guy, and you're going to have a match with him, and he's going to be the one who puts you in your place, and that's where Bradley Allen's character comes in. So he's basically like this champion fighter from overseas who's been hired to come and, you know, bring Jackie Chan back down to earth. So basically, they invite him out into this parking lot, and he challenges into a one-on-one match. Again, it's not. It's one of the interesting things about this is, again, there's no villain in this, because obviously Jackie has a rival in this, and obviously he does some, you know, they do some underhanded stuff, but he's not a bad guy, because it's all done very respectfully, very honourably. There's no villain here, because even Bradley Allen, he's coming as this like guy who's gonna, you know, obviously pose a threat to Jackie Chan, but he's not. It's not. It's basically this guy. He's coming at it from, yeah. This is a guy who could be good competition. So he's coming there in the spirit of sportsmanship, and he's there. He's looking for a good fight, not because he has any personal grudge or quest for revenge against Jackie. He's like, look, I'm a prized fighter. You know, I love the fight, and this is a guy who could pose a decent challenge. So it's a totally different concept. You know, like when you've seen obviously Jackie and Benny the Jet fighting and playing for keeps, it's a totally different feel. Like here, you've got just the fighting with gloves on, for God's sake. So it's not as though it's some kind of blood match or blood feud, nothing like. But yeah, so we have our first match in this parking lot of this restaurant, and it's a great sequence. It's a really, really great sequence, because obviously, you know, Jackie and Bradley Allen had a wonderful relationship, and obviously, you know, Jackie inviting him to be part of his stunt team, you know, so that they knew each other very well and they worked together brilliantly. So we have this great fight, and wouldn't you know it, Jackie loses. So this is like the low point of the whole thing. So Jackie loses. He gives a valiant effort, but you can see, you know, he's no match for him at this point in time. So basically, and then obviously his rival, you know, obviously you know, well, I got what I wanted. You know, I'm glad that someone's finally put you in your place and brought you down a peg or two. But seeing you like this afterwards, seeing it happen, I don't know if it's what I wanted. Because again, this guy isn't a bad guy. So he's, you know, he even asks him, "Do you want me to get you some help? Do you need me to call an ambulance?" Wife. So this guy is not a bad guy, and it's a very, very strange because it's not your typical action movie. It's not. Um, so basically, this is where Jackie hits his low point, and obviously, you know, he's left alone in the parking lot there, take off and leave, and then obviously Shu Chi comes out and, you know, comforts him and tries to, you know, and they're talking about, and Jackie said, yeah, you know, he was the better man, and you know, obviously I've got all this like equipment and my own private gym and all these different things that I could be training with, but I haven't, my heart hasn't been in it for a long time now. You know, I've been out of practice. I haven't, you know, so I was really there was no way I was going to win. I was totally outclassed. And then Shu Chi says, well, we can change that, you know. Why don't I train with you? So then we get this wonderful sequence where obviously, I don't know what you want to call it, Jackie Chan getting back on the horse with the help of Shu Chi. And you get this wonderful montage of them together, and again, it's a very, very lovely stuff, and it's so romantic. It's, again, this is, I said at the top of this, I'll say it again, it's probably the most romantic film Jackie's done. So it's unique in that sense. So obviously you have this whole thing, and obviously Jackie's getting back on the horse. You see him training, and he's getting better, and he's getting the eye of the tiger back. If you want to call it his Rocky 3 um, montage, his Rocky 3 moment. But then obviously we hit our low point again from Shu Chi's perspective, because there's this little subplot when she comes to Hong Kong. You see, because she's reading the newspaper while she's on the plane, and there's an article on one of the pages that there's a mob boss's girlfriend is missing, and they're looking for her, trying to find her. And wouldn't you know it, she looks almost identical to Shu Chi. So there's this. So when she initially meets Jackie, she passes herself off as, "Oh, have you seen the papers? You know, I'm the girlfriend of this mob boss, and I need to lay low for a while. I want to get away from it all." So basically, she again, you know, she starts off from the point of view of a lie almost, trying to be a somebody, I suppose. When Jackie Chan's character isn't looking for a somebody, you know, he's looking for someone. Well, he's looking for someone special, you know. Well, it's even a quote that he has a line he has in the movie. I'm looking for someone who amuses me, you know. Like I say, you know, there's no shortage of beautiful girls, and you know, but I want to find someone unique, someone different. So obviously, when it's all everything's revealed, you know, that there's been, obviously she's been putting on an act, putting on a lie. Obviously, Jackie's understanding about it, and basically I think if you look at it from Shu Chi's perspective, it's more the embarrassment from her perspective rather than anything Jackie does. So basically, she just feels totally embarrassed. She wants to get away, and she goes back home before Jackie has a chance to even do anything. So obviously, she goes back home, and then we get round 2 with Bradley Allen and Jackie Chan, and obviously this is where he's learned to be, you know, he's got back on the horse, he's done his training, and also he's learned to be a happier person as well. Shu Chi's taught him that. So basically they have the second round, and Jackie wins this round, as you would expect. He's gone on the arc, you see. So he wins, and again, spectacular fight sequence that Bradley Allen and Jackie have. I mean, the first fight they have in the movie's great, but you could see that they were saving the best for last. Yeah, they have this great fight scene in one of Jackie's warehouses, or factories, whatever you want to call it. and it's brilliant. It's brilliant stuff. So Jackie wins, and basically him and his rival, they finally make amends, let bygones be bygones, put the differences aside, and sit. And Jackie says, "Look, we've been button heads for years. Why don't we put all that aside, and why don't we actually work together for once? You know, let's form a partnership. Let's go into business together. Let's not work against each other. Let's work together." So you've got that kind of, they kind of wrap that up in a nice, neat little bow, and then finally, we've got to wrap up things with Shu Qi. So obviously Jackie goes to a home village in Taiwan, and he comes face to face with a dad, and obviously just makes amends with Shu Qi, and obviously they just wrap everything up really nicely. And one of the nice things as well, it's a nice feel good movie. It's very light, but it's a lovely, lovely feel good movie. And again, it just, obviously it ends with Jackie and Shu Qi reunited, and they're on the same page, and yeah, it's a really nice, and they live happily ever after, as you would expect. But it's lovely. It's a lovely, lovely feel good movie, and again, some wonderful, wonderful elements of comedy in this, and elements of action. It's one of those, where they blend it perfectly, because obviously sometimes with Jackie it doesn't work. But here is one example, like I say, this, Dragons Forever and Operation Condor, are shining examples of where the blend just works so perfectly well. And it's an absolute joy. It's an absolute joy to watch this one. And again, so yes, definitely, if you're going to watch it, definitely watch the Hong Kong version, the 2 hour cut, because everything just flows and it fits better, and it just doesn't feel. There's parts in the international version, in the 100-minute cut, where things just seem a little bit jarring, whereas that's, everything's a lot more runs a lot more smoothly, and is a lot more nicely ironed out in the 2 hour version. But yeah, that wraps this up. Again, gorgeous, 1999, brilliant, brilliant film. Again, it's one of my favourite Jackie ones. I've been thinking more and more about, if I was to put together like my list of favourite Jackie movies, I think this would definitely be in there. Obviously this one, and obviously Dragons Forever, and Operation Condor certainly belongs in there. And obviously the original Police. I know I did a review on Police Story 3, which is great. And obviously the thing about Police Story 3, you've got Jackie and Michelle Yeoh together. But there's something about the original Police Story, man, the 85 film. I think it's just because it's got that real sense of like just guys who have just come together. It's got that real let's just make a movie kind of attitude about it. They're just working with what they have. It's very down and dirty, and again, just absolutely phenomenal. And again, the final set piece in Police Story in the mall, it's people have said, it's been said that it's the greatest action sequence ever committed to film. I wouldn't argue with it. It's spectacular. So yeah, Police Story's definitely in the favourites, and again, stuff like Wheels on Meals, and Heart of Dragon as well. There's something about that film. Again, obviously you talk about absolute first class action sequences. The finale to that, Jesus Christ. And again, one of the unique things about Heart of Dragon as well, like I said in that review, is the way it leaves you feeling. Like, you got something like Gorgeous, which is that total feel good. You feel so fulfilled and happy after watching it, whereas Heart of Dragon, it's got kind of like that somber sort of feel to it. Yeah, and that again, we talk about unique Jackie films. Obviously this is unique in a way. Heart of Dragon is unique as well. So they're two that definitely belong in the conversation for me when I'm talking about my favourite Jackie films. And again, I gotta go back to that one as well, To Kill with Intrigue from 1977. Just an absolutely beautiful film. But yeah, again, it's going back, as I've said time and again, going back and discovering all of these Jackie Chan movies. You know, going from someone who had only really seen the Rush Hour films and, you know, a couple of the others like Shanghai Noon and stuff like that, to actually go back and see the Golden Age, the Hong Kong stuff, the real stuff. It's been an absolute joy. It really, really has, and it's given me a whole new appreciation for what Jackie has done. And again, thank God for 88 films and for Eureka, you know, for what they've been doing recently in terms of their output for Hong Kong cinema. They've been doing the Lord's work. They really, really have. So again, if you haven't picked up any of these, you know, please do so, because they're an absolute gold mine. So gorgeous. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this impromptu. So gorgeous on the recommended list. Police Story on the recommended list. Let's have a look what else we got. Again, I'm just doing this completely impromptu, so there's no organisation here really. Let's have a look. Obviously, Police Story 3, yes, definitely. Let's have a look. We got Dragons Forever, yes, absolutely, yes, 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 yes. Wheels on Meals, 100%. Again, we talk about the greatest action set pieces ever done. If the mall fight at the end of Police Story is Jackie's greatest action set piece in terms of an ensemble piece, because obviously it's Jackie versus a group of people, I'm going to tell you something right now. If you want to see Jackie Chan's best one-on-one fight, as great as the fight with Bradley Allen is in Gorgeous, the fight with Benny the Jet in Wheels on Meals is so much more. And also, I'm going to tell you something right now, because wouldn't you know it, there's alternative audio tracks on this Blu-ray for Wheels on Meals. So what you want to do, there's a special audio track that takes the original Cantonese audio and blends it with the soundtrack that was commissioned for the international release, a quote unquote funkier soundtrack. And so what you want to do, you want that hybrid audio track, because let me tell you something, when the fight with Benny the Jet and Jackie rolls around, you're going to be wanting the music score that's on the hybrid track, trust me. So we got obviously Wheels on Meals. Let's have a look what else. Yeah, again, this is another one. One of Jackie's earlier ones with Lo Wei. Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin. Definitely. You talk about, you want to see Jackie as a one-man army. Yeah, he's fighting everybody in this movie. And he's fighting with swords. He's fighting hand to hand. It's great. So there's a couple. Tell you what, there you go. You talk about one at like the back end of his 90s stuff. Mr. Nice Guy. I really, really like this one. You talk about the sorts of films he was making around this time, because Rumble in the Bronx, Who Am I, and First Strike, you know, they're enjoyable. But out of that bunch, I really think Mr. Nice Guy is the one, and again, directed by Sammo Hung. Again, this had its, I touched on this before, this had its origins as a Police Story sequel. This had more business being a Police Story movie than First Strike ever did. I'll just leave it at that. So yeah, we've got some wonderful stuff. I'll tell you another one I might mention, because obviously I'm weird on The Young Master. There's great stuff in The Young Master, certainly, and the opening sequence with the lion dance is absolutely incredible. And also the should we call it the fan fight sequence, that's absolutely first class. But there's another film made in 82 when Jackie went back to Hong Kong, when it was finally safe, the triads weren't out to get him anymore. Dragon Lord. Yeah. Now this one, it's kind of, you know, it's got some similarity. It's tonally similar to Young Master in some ways. I prefer Dragon Lord to Young Master. I may be in the minority, I don't know. But I really like Dragon Lord. Again, it's got, you know, it is in some ways a companion piece because obviously, you know, this was his directorial follow up to Young Master. I prefer this movie. I mean, there's stuff. What I will say, there might be higher highs in Young Master, but as an overall film for me, I prefer Dragon Lord. So again, this started out as a review of Gorgeous, but this has just spiraled into me just spewing a word salad about Jackie Chan movies and just throwing Blu-rays at the camera. Um, but I hope you've enjoyed it. And again, if you were a fan of the movie, if you bought the Blu-ray, please feel free to share your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. And thank you for indulging me. And it's been a pleasure for me. Hope it was a pleasure for. I hope it was good for you too. And I will see you all in the next one. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.